Hey everyone, welcome back to Glass Seats. This is Viddy.
My name is Mrinal, and on this episode, we're going to be talking Ridley Greig and Morgan Rielly.
Battle of the heavyweights, maybe?
Okay. I think that's being gratuitous of heavyweight.
All right, for sure.
All right?
Yeah.
Battle of Ontario,
Ryan
for
Reeves
sure.
is screaming at me right now, yeah. Yeah.
If you missed what happened, quick summary, and then we'll break it down.
Mm-hmm.
Game between Toronto Maple Leafs, Ottawa Senators on February 10th. Ridley Greig has a breakaway for the open net, empty net goal.
Yeah.
Right at the end of the game, Ottawa's going to win. He gets right up to the net, and then he slap shots it.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Morgan Rielly is not happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Goes after Greig and cross-checks him in the face.
Not hilarious.
Morgan Rielly is given a game misconduct with 6 seconds left in the game. On February 13th, which is 2 days before this recording, Department of Player Safety suspends Rielly for 5 games.
Yeah.
Rielly plans to appeal that suspension, and since it was under 6 games, the final decision falls to league commissioner Gary Bettman.
Mm-hmm.
The Maple Leafs are also unhappy with the Department of Player Safety because the suspension was leaked before the team or Morgan Rielly were informed.
Didn't know that.
So, lots of different aspects to talk about here. There's the actions that happened in the game and Department of Player Safety that happened afterward.
Yeah.
Our favorite topic, Department of Player Safety.
Apparently, yeah. It really is.
Because they keep doing things worth talking about.
Yeah.
But let's start with what happened in the game.
Yeah.
Ridley Greig slap shots it in. In hockey culture, there's no rule against it. He can slap shot it if he wants.
Yeah.
It's considered a little disrespectful.
Yeah.
What are
Unsportsmanlike almost.
Unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
So we talk about, or I don't say we, like you and I mean we as hockey fans in general, talk about why is the sport getting so soft? Why is fighting at an all-time low? You got it. Now you're complaining about it. I mean, like, isn't this good for the league? Isn't this bringing like attention and drama to the league?
What part is good? Because I don't think cross-checking someone in the head is good.
No. That's bad. No, for sure. That's bad. But shouldn't a little extra flair and like pizzazz and like just rivalries be good? Like, remember when Malkin and Ovechkin hated each other and it was Crosby v. Malkin, and it was good for the league. It was really good for the league. And I'm not saying, Greig and Morgan Rielly need to like beef with each other now, and that's like the huge thing now. But also when it was, that one, Brandon Manning and McDavid, that's kind of what this is. Like, sure, it's two players of completely different caliber, but it was good for the league. Also, like, did he really do anything wrong? It was an exclamation mark on an authoritative win. I don't know.
That's the thing. It's a weird part of hockey culture where it's like, oh, we're all this macho tough guy attitude all the time. We don't wear face masks because we're tough.
Yeah.
But if he takes a slap shot on an empty net, you get offended.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, I understand there's a code, but...
Yeah, and he meant disrespect. Let's not get that wrong.
Of course.
This was meant to be taunting, but it's so good for fans.
Yeah.
Like, we see in the NFL all the time. Touchdown celebrations.
All the time.
Or
all the time.
When the defense sacks the quarterback.
Yeah.
We just had the Super Bowl last weekend, so that's on my mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
But every time they sack the quarterback, they're celebrating and they're taunting.
And those clips are immediately used by the NFL in highlights, and it goes viral.
Yeah, and the team that's getting taunted just takes it, right? Like, you don't want to get taunted. Don't mess up, right? Yeah. If you are taking exception to like some guy taking a slap shot on your empty net, you should have won the game.
Yeah. Also, like, how is this any different than like? I mean, it is different in terms of stakes, but by that standard, you could say that do you remember the Patrick Kane heartbreaker celly that he did, where he was like, at the overtime winner against the Kings or something? Yeah. Is that not disrespectful?
Yeah, the Ovi Fire Stick celly.
Is that not disrespectful?
The Timo Solani shooting the glove?
Dude, there's so many examples of this. Like, just because it was on an empty net, now it's disrespectful?
Yeah, like, come on.
That's as clear as goalie interference.
The Leafs should have taken their lumps on that one.
Yeah.
So that's the other aspect of this. Cross-check to the face. A little excessive.
Excessive, for sure, yeah. I mean, if you want to send a message and say, hey, that's not okay, go ahead, have some rough stuff after the game, but stick to the face?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's straight up intent to injure, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm honest, I think he got a 5-game suspension. I think that's lenient.
Really?
If I'm on...
Oh, wow.
It's pure intent to injure.
Yeah.
The game was over. The play was blown dead, and you cross-checked him in the face.
Yeah.
Like...
That is true, yeah. You're trying to avoid like concussion issues within the NHL and stuff too. Yeah.
We talked about this with David Perron earlier this season. And I think we were both on the side of, okay, you should have thrown the book at him. Mm-hmm. At least I remember saying that.
Yeah.
You weren't happy with Perron either. 5 games is not throwing the book at him.
You don't think?
No.
5 games is not throwing the book at him?
For intent to injure?
Okay,
come on.
Yeah.
5 games, I could see something like,
What is 5 games? What's like fair?
Like it's a hockey play and you threw a bad hit.
Okay.
Sometimes you see the red mist. It happens. Mm-hmm. And you go for a hit and it's, like a knee on knee or something. Mm-hmm. That I think is 5 games. It's an egregious hit. You as a hitter are responsible for making sure the hit you lay is legal. But in the speed of a game, it happens.
Yeah.
That's, I think, 5 games.
Okay.
This is play was dead, game was dead, and you went for his head.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had no reason to go for his head.
Yeah. Yeah. That's bad for sure.
I would not have been.
Would a cross check anywhere else have been any better though? I don't feel like it would have. Like at that point, that's when you do you challenge him to a fight? Do you kind of just.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do this?
Yeah. If you wanted to if you want to stick with the hockey rules, you challenge him to a fight. If he's not willing to fight, then he's not willing to fight, right?
Yeah.
And if you're anyone on the Senators, why would you fight? There's 6 seconds left in the game.
Yeah. So you're saying I should have just given him an earful, kind of?
Yeah. You should have given him some chirps back, and then you have to beat him next time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's too late in the game.
Yeah. To send a message.
To do any of that, right? They've won.
Yeah.
You've lost the game. What are you sending a message for?
Yeah.
Like it's over, right?
Do you think this would have been there's no way in hell this would have been a 5-game suspension in the playoffs, right? Like if it was Ottawa v Toronto
in the playoffs,
yeah. There's no way that's 5 games.
It probably would have been like 3 because I think they tend to just cut it in half for playoffs, right?
Yeah,
like 5 games in the playoffs is a series.
Could be a whole series, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it'll be 5 in the playoffs, which is a whole other aspect we have to talk about how suspensions in the NHL are handed out based on all these factors when it really should just be action penalty.
Yeah.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, that's why I, on the other hand, don't know if I almost feel like 5 games might be excessive because I don't know what the correct amount is anymore, truthfully. Sometimes it's 3 games, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's appeals, sometimes it's not. It really, again, it feels like throwing a dart into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Maybe you hit bullseye, maybe you don't. I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like who knows?
Yeah. I don't. I sure
5 games
don't.
is excessive based on just my guts.
Yeah.
Right. And you're saying it's not based on your guts, and we both could be right.
Yeah.
Because the only guts that matter are George Parris's.
Yeah. That was also one thing I wanted to bring up. He, I believe, former Canadian. And a lot of people were saying like, oh, he's biased against the Leafs or anything. Do you think that's just a lot of background noise and angry fans, or do you think there's like some sort of, I don't want to say rivalry, or like bad blood? Do you think that could be playing into that bias at all or not?
I mean, I don't want to directly accuse the head of player safety of anything.
Yeah.
But we're all human.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I personally think it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
But
if you couldn't take your biases out, you shouldn't have been given that job in the first place.
Yeah, that's a bigger issue there.
That's a whole other thing. I don't know how people get that job. Does Gary Bettman just appoint them?
Yeah,
who knows, right?
I mean, we're definitely biased Sharks fans, but we're just 2 guys on the podcast. We're not the department of player safety. Yeah.
Anything you and I say or do has no impact on the league.
No, at all. Yeah,
So it's a different responsibility when you're in that position, and you would hope that you could be neutral. You know?
Yeah.
That's like, what if a referee grew up as a Flames fan? Yeah. Those kind of things.
Yeah. Then they would have had a cup in 04. Yeah. Sorry. Not to bring up bad memories.
And there goes every Flames fan clicking away from the video.
Hey, all the Tampa fans are joining now. They're like, we like these guys. Yeah.
But yeah, I think by that logic, maybe 5 games is right. If you feel like it's over and I feel like it's under.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to bring up with this, though. What is the point of the Maple Leafs signing Bertuzzi, Domi, and Reeves if you got to send Morgan Rielly out to go do your dirty things?
To be fair, they were all on the bench.
I think Domi was on the ice.
Was he? Okay.
I have to rewatch the video, but I think Domi was on the ice.
I remember a shot specifically of Ryan Reeves looking over and stuff. And
yeah, Reeves, I mean, isn't that the whole point of Ryan Reeves? We all know he's not good at hockey.
Yeah, he is. I think they asked him like post game what he thought about it, and he's like, "I like it."
Okay.
When he said I like it, he means he likes Morgan Rielly's actions.
Well, way to go, Ryan. Your team lost.
Yeah.
So I don't care what you have to say after the game. You know, the whole point was having him on the bench was supposed to be a deterrent because you're like, oh, you're going to be scared to take liberties with the Leafs. And Greig was just like, yeah, I don't care. I'm going to slap shot this into a net and piss everybody off.
Yeah.
What is the point of signing all those enforcers and, tough guys if people still don't take your team seriously?
Yeah.
You're not going to have Ryan Reeves out on the ice majority of the time. He's going to play very little ice time.
Yeah.
You're going to send him out there when you want him to hit someone or to be that imposing presence, right?
Yeah.
But if
Austin Matthews has to fight for you, right
now it's Morgan Rielly.
Or Tavares.
It could be Matthews next time. It could be Tavares next time.
Morgan Tavares has a seat.
Morgan Rielly's your number 1D on the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Why is he fighting anyone?
Yeah. He's not the guy you should be losing at all.
Yeah.
At all. So,
I think the whole incident also just reinforced the fact to me that despite all those signings, the other teams in the league still don't take the Maple Leafs seriously. As a physical threat.
Yeah. Which is sad. You spend all that cap money for nothing.
Yeah. Which is a whole other question come the offseason.
Yeah.
And Maple Leafs right now are in a wild card spot. There is a world where they miss the playoffs.
Yeah, that would be wild. No pun intended. But yeah, I guess we'll see. I do think there's a lot of what ifs about this whole scenario. Playoffs, if this was in a playoff series, if X and Z, XYZ happen, if Ryan Reeves was on the ice instead, a lot of what ifs. But at the same time, as you said earlier, the team lost. The Leafs lost. Mm-hmm. The statement was already made. So I don't know.
I think they're done for the season. I don't think Toronto, Ottawa have another game this season.
I would love to see him play again, though.
I think they're done.
Yeah.
I'll double check, but if they're done, then this is done, right? Yeah. There's no point going into a game next season with revenge for this on your mind, right?
Yeah.
That seems...
For something so small, yeah.
And it's over by then. It's a new season. A lot of these players might not even be on the team anymore.
Right. Yeah.
You got to take your lumps.
On it, I guess, yeah.
Learn to take your lumps, Maple Leafs. That's my final point here.
Yeah. If you want to contribute, let us know what you think in the comments, and maybe we can agree to disagree, or we can just, have a productive talk. Let's see.
Yeah. And if you like this episode, leave us a like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is.
All the good stuff.
See you next time.
Bye.